Hello, my name is Terry Olszewski and I'm Superintendent of Garfield Heights City Schools. Welcome to another edition of Open Line on Air, a production for our community that is designed to help you to remain connected to the school district. Today I'm joined by two very important people who work for our schools, Sonny Johnson and his brother Demetrius Johnson. And some of you may think of them as basketball coaches for our schools, and they are, but they play an even greater role when it comes to helping our students. Yes, both Sonny and Demetrius play an exceptional role when it comes to athletics. But for the last several years, they have each also become formally hired by the district to resolve conflict among students, Sonny at the high school and Demetrius at the middle school. We're very happy to have them here in the district, and we're glad that they could both join us here today. Sonny, let me first begin by congratulating you on your induction into the Garfield Heights City Schools Athletic Hall of Fame, a ceremony which will be taking place here very shortly. First and foremost, most people, when they hear the Johnson name, they think of boys basketball at Garfield. And we'll talk a little bit about that today. But first, let me start by asking you, what do you do besides coach the basketball team?
I'm the intervention manager at the high school.
And what do you do as the intervention manager?
I deal with conflicts, kids having certain issues with anything that goes on in school or at home, or missing classes, or bad attendance, anything like that I deal with.
Demetrius, what do you do at the middle school?
I'm the intervention manager at the middle school. I deal with conflict mediation, and if kids are having problems, I bring them in my office and talk to them and try to resolve the problem before it gets out of hand.
How different is it from the high school to the middle school? Because you have dealt with high school kids too.
It's real different. The middle school kids are, the high school kids are more calm than the middle school kids. You can really calm the high school kids down a little faster faster than middle school kids. So.
Where is your office, respectively, in the building?
My office is right next to all the top people, the principal, the assistant principal, right in between those guys, and ladies as well. It's right in between them.
And yours, Demetrius?
My office is right next to the guidance office. So. And
did guidance help you in your interventions with young people?
Oh yes, they help me all the time. If I have a problem with a lot of girls or boys, and if I need somebody else to come in and assist me, they come in all the time and help out.
Can you both explain for me to the residents at home how you get involved with a problem?
Well, it all depends. You can have, it's a lot of, we do a lot of he say, she say talk for us, people get into it. Or a teacher might call you, or a parent might suggest that there might be a problem. It's all kind of ways that you get involved with problems that the kids are having.
How about at the middle school? Do the administrators refer young people to you also, Demetrius?
A lot of times the administrators will get a call from a parent and that's having a problem, then they'll bring it to me, and I take it from there, try to take some slack off them.
And what's your method for getting to the bottom of most problems at the middle school?
I would say I'll do the best I can. I'll try to bring both parties in one at a time and get both point of views on things and bring them in together and try to let them hear each other out, and then just try to see if we can leave respecting each other, and not saying you always gonna leave friends, but just leave respecting each other where you don't have to say anything to each other. What
are some of the things you do at the middle school for bullying?
Well, if somebody's being bullied, I'll bring the party in, and I like to ask a lot of questions. How would you feel if this happened to you? If this was being said to you? And I call the parents a lot. I let the parents know what's going on and try to get the parents involved, and just to let the kids know that it's not okay to be the bully or being bullied on.
And I would imagine at both schools, the middle school and the high school, we take bullying very seriously.
Oh, no question about it. That's something I think as a school district that we take very serious. It's all type of ways to deal with kids. Because my point of it is I think it's very important to listen. Because a lot of kids don't have a lot of people listening to them, and to hear their point of view, and get to the bottom of it, and I think we do a good job. Most, I would say probably 85% of the problems that come to me get resolved before it has to go to the principals, which I think is very, very important.
And where is it that, under what circumstances, that you see the most problems?
Most of it's a lot of he say, she say talk, friend talking behind each other's back. I mean, I had a situation where it was, girls would be together, be close for like 3 years, and one incident, and just a lot of talking and a lot of instigating and things like that. That's what most of mine come from.
A little bit of social media
Mm-hmm.
back and forth.
Now it's Twitter. Now it's Twitter, and you got a lot on Facebook. So Twitter, Facebook, he say, she say talk. That's what most of mine come from for sure.
And to resolve those issues, you do, like you said you did. You bring them in, you have some communication with them. Everybody gets to say their piece back and forth. And how do we get parents involved in that process?
Well, we try to resolve it, but it's always important to let the parents know what the kids are doing at school. I think that's very, very important, because I think if we can handle that at school, and then the parents, once they got that strong parent support at home, and they can get on them at home, I think it all works. That's when we're becoming a true team and working together, which I think is more important than anything.
Same at the middle school?
Same at the middle school. If I have a problem with any kids with conflict, I think it's very important, whether the kid is right or wrong, to make sure that parent is aware of what's going on.
So what do we deal with? Girls more or boys more, or is it an equal process?
I definitely deal with the young ladies more. It's definitely the young ladies. They get into it a lot more, and I think we do a pretty good job of handling that situation. But
pretty much the same at the middle school.
Yeah, same at the middle school. I deal a lot with the girls.
Do you hand out discipline as part of your role? Can you explain what your relationship is to the administration?
Well, I really don't hand out discipline. I try to mediate the situation. I'll get to the bottom of it. But if it's a situation where I think the discipline needs to be handed out, I'll definitely let the principals know, or assistant principals know, and they handle it. They do an unbelievable job. We got a great principal and great assistant principal that does an unbelievable job handling those situations as far as the discipline is concerned.
And would you say the same thing at the middle school also?
Yes, I would say the same thing.
Do you deal with problems just inside the building, or does it extend farther out?
Well, I think when you're dealing with kids, it's always inside and outside, and I think that's important, because kids, when parents need to know that you're caring about their kids. So when you have a problem, we definitely, we're listening, because a lot of stuff happens outside of the school district, outside of where we at as far as the high school, and we definitely have to have an ear to that. And I think Mr. Winton and Ms. Hager does an unbelievable job as far as handling situations inside and outside.
So those things that happen outside the building, how do you handle those things?
Well, if I see some kids outside the building, I try to talk to them like I do in school. If it's whether I do a lot of working outside the building before school starts, or things happen on the bus, and I'm always involved with kids. So if a situation happens, I try to talk to them and hear both sides of the party and try to just calm the situation down.
So, question for both of you. Do you feel as though your role is helping in the lives of our students in Garfield?
No question. Anytime you can interact with young people and be somebody they can listen to, I think that's very important, what I'm saying? Because, a lot of the young people, the conversation I have with them, they're just looking for, they're looking for love, they're looking for somebody that can listen, they're looking for somebody to talk to. So the interaction and just dealing with them, I think, is very, very important.
Anything you could add to that?
Yes, I would like to say, just being at the middle school and dealing with certain situations, it makes me feel good to walk down the hall and see kids that I had dealt with that had problems, and just see them talking to each other and, friends. That makes me feel good. And just having kids come back to your office telling you, thank you, and having parents call saying thank you, that means a lot too.
So both of you as being basketball coaches in the district, do you feel that helps with what you're doing in the schools?
Which before being, no question, that helps. Just being able to interact with the kids, I think, is very, very important. And just being in the building, just. Are
you able to keep up with their grades?
Oh, no question. Staying on their grades, ACT tests, NCAA requirements, and just somebody, the kids, I mean, the teachers know they can call right away and you can handle the situation with those kids. I think it's very, very important. I can tell you from when I wasn't in the building to now our GPA has increased far as, usually now we have like a 3.0 club, about Mr. O, and last year I think out of 15 varsity players we had 10 or 11 kids on the 3.0 club. So, stressing that, talking to teachers, making sure kids are doing on top of their grades, I think that's very, very important.
And Demetrius, following those kids all the way through the middle school into the high school as the high school basketball coach, what's the advantage to that?
Well, it's a big advantage to that. I try to do the best I can at the middle school, not just with boys basketball, but with any athlete, just to make sure that they understand how important it is to be disciplined in the classroom, how important it is to just character, to have good character. Like Coach Sonny was saying, I talk to a lot of teachers and just try to make sure that the kids is preparing themselves for high school and in college.
Well, might as well get to it. How's the basketball team going to look this year?
We're pretty young. I think we have probably 3 freshmen that will be playing up on varsity. We have lost our lost 7, only 7 players that played last year on varsity. So we'll be young, but we should be exciting to watch, and we should win some games, hopefully, and make this community proud.
Absolutely. Guys, thank you. I appreciate it. Well, Sonny and Demetrius, thanks again very much for sharing a bit about your roles away from the basketball court. I'm glad that our viewers at home had a chance to understand this. Thank you for tuning in to this edition of Open Line on Air. I'm Superintendent Terry Olszewski, and stay tuned for another edition. And thank you, and go Bulldogs.